Hey, what's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm just going to break down this inbox manager agent that I've created. So basically, as the description kind of says, this is going to turn any cold replies, objections, questions that you get in your cold email campaigns and automate the replies to just get booked calls consistent into your calendar. So how it kind of works is there's an onboarding process. So how it works is I'll actually ask it, what are the 10 onboarding questions? So before you can even get a reply from the AI agent, it's going to force you to answer these 10 questions. Now, these are like some context questions based on, your niche, your service, your actual calendar link, the name of your calls, an audit call, demo call, strategy session, AI audit, whatever service you guys run, or whatever you name your demo calls. And then, it's going to ask the problem, you want to answer like what problems do your niche typically face, give as much detail as possible, biggest pains, frustrations they feel, much detail as possible again. Solutions or results does your niche want the most? Again, as much detail as you want. Then you want to provide like a high-level process breakdown of how you deliver results. So, excuse me. So what you want to do is you pretty much want to just walk through, from A to Z, kind of the pillars of your process. So, for me, cold email appointment settings. So it's like end-to-end, predictable, reliable outbound appointment booking from, lead sourcing, enrichment, script writing, inbox management, text setup, deliverability for like cold email, for DMs. It's like script writing, follow-ups, and just setting people into the calendar consistently. So you want to walk the GPT through that as well. You want to share any case studies or social proof that you actually have, and it's going to weave that into your replies, into your cold email responses to get people booked in, and then list some niche specific terms or phrases that are specific to your industry, so you're speaking the language of your market. So I've already done this with my own agent. That's pretty much how you get started. And then all you want to do is whatever objection you're getting, all you want to do is, let's say, a common objection people have is do you charge up front? Now, what I've trained this model to do is actually, so it's not copy and paste frameworks. I haven't given it like copy and paste what to say when this. It's actually a fully reasoned GPT, which uses cognitive biases, a whole bunch of stuff, a 4-step first principles framework of like justifying, gratifying, justifying, explaining why the call is valuable for them, and then a low friction CTA. In all cases, I've trained it to handle money objections, handle fear objections, burnt in the past objections, value objections, making it sound like a human, not just like some AI bot, which a lot of these agents sometimes do. So what I'm doing is I'll just show you actually. Do you charge up front is like an example. And what the AI does is, it takes like 5 or so seconds, 10 seconds, and it will just give a really nice response to that. You can just paste, straight into your instant campaign. So you go to your Unibox and you simply, if you get a reply like that, you just copy and paste this in. It's going to have the demo link in the call as well. So, fair question. Here we go, is like kind of gratifying them. The setup really depends on what you're aiming for, how many calls you want coming in. So I need a bit more context before giving the numbers. What I can say is we build predictable systems that pay for themselves fast when the right pieces are in place. If you're open, we can go over what it would look like for your agency on a quick demo call. And so, this is just fantastic from the AI. And just to share the GPT instructions, this is actually what I've implanted into the GPT. So this is kind of what it's like. So the onboarding, human-like communication rules, avoid robotic phrasing, various sentence structures, doesn't look patterned, never over-explain, trying to voice casual, friendly, empathetic, confident. You don't want to sound like a bot, and I've trained the model to do exactly this. And I guess just take a step back, this is going to work for any niche because of the 10 onboarding questions. We'll make sure it applies to whatever niche you're in: real estate, local business, any B2B industry. It's just a fantastic GPT that I've constantly tested and finally released, so it works really well. Response length, 2 to 3 sentences, style rules. This is the 4-step framework that I mentioned. What to avoid, fluff, jargon, over-explaining. And then this is the really cool part. So I've analyzed all the replies that I've actually done that actually got me calls booked, and I looked up, tried to analyze what psychological biases I've been using in these responses. So reasoning bias, so clear logical reasons to get them to book a call. Curiosity bias, incentive bias, social proof, authority, reciprocity, loss aversion, clarity, some complex stuff that you're not really gonna have to worry about because the AI is just automatically plugging this stuff into um, your responses. And gratify, justify, show value, and CTA, low friction CTA. Principles to integrate. People act for their. This is an important thing. Just always with appointment booking and sending people into the calendar. You want to make sure that you're doing what's in their best interest, not in what is in your best interest. Even though a call is good for you, you can potentially close them, get money on the front end. You want to make sure that they think it's best for them. So that's what I've also trained it to do. Objection handling instructions, price objections, more information, objections, bad experience, seen this before, value skepticism, availability of time, social proof. All the common objections that you're going to get when replying to when people reply in cold emails. And then also, if someone doesn't so for example, if in this case, if someone doesn't reply to your initial reply to objection handle them, what I've trained the AI do is to actually make follow-ups to bump the actual reply that I've created or that you've created, no matter what the objection is. So follow-up one is gentle nudge, retain value, re-invite. So what it's going to do is, if you just tell it to do that, it's going to just make a nice little bump follow-up. And I've got a 4-step framework for that as well. So if people aren't replying, you can run through a 4-step flow, a different follow-up, different angle every single time. So you're not just doing those bump follow-ups. It's like, let me know if you've seen this, just bumping this, which really pisses people off nowadays. So just circling back, the whole idea is building a predictable system with high intent leads. So you've got consistent calls coming without chasing. If you're curious, we can map it out on a quick demo call. Then whatever social proof you have. So that's part of the onboarding process as well. So, the social proof that I've added to my own one, you can make a follow up like that as well. Which you don't actually have to put this in; it will do this automatically. I'm making a full video about this just so you guys know how to use it and don't overcomplicate it. It's really very actually simple. All you have to do is essentially tell it to do shit, and it's just going to do it because I've already trained it. So. Here's another one. Quick note, one of my clients uses systems to sign 7 high-ticket clients in just 60 days. Happy to show how it could translate to your niche on a short demo call. Now that I think of it, it's probably another specificity bias is a huge thing to the actual client, but that's all right as well. And then follow-up instructions, contextualization, and just overall principles. And that's plugged into the GPT. And, here's another example. Cold email doesn't work for me. I hired an agency before and they got me. No thanks. Now here's a much tougher objection. Let's see what the AI does with this one. Also, if you ever want more well thought out responses, you can even change the GPT model to the 5 thinking model, which will take a bit longer to give you the reply, but will probably give a better response as well. But GPT-5 just works extremely well too. Totally get that. A lot of agencies blast generic lists and ends up going nowhere. What we do is different. High intent data, tailor messaging for reply management, and a predictable system, so it actually feels different this time. If you're open, we could hop on a quick demo call, just see if it makes sense for your niche. So I was very good at doing this, to the point where it's honestly better than what I could do because I've trained it well. So essentially, here's what's another one. Is this a performance or what? We don't pay up front, don't have time for 45-minute calls anyway. That's a really tough one. Let's see what it does. Does take some time to load. I do have a bunch of tabs open, so that probably doesn't help. But again, like I said, all these responses, they just go straight into instantly. So in your Unibox, we use it for a recent campaign of ours. We booked around 17, 18 calls from 1,000 cents, so about 1.8% point booking rate, which nowadays is quite good. Totally fair structure, depends on your goals, but it's not one size fits all, pay up front and hope thing. And no worries on time. The demo call is short and straight to the point, not a 45-minute pitch. If you're curious, here's the link. Now, if you want to adjust it based on what you like or what you found to work specifically for your niche, you can always just tell the GPT, "I'll be more XYZ," or "be more ABC." And so you can also, it doesn't have to be fixed to specifically how I've trained it. You can also apply it to your niche, what works. But overall, in any B2B industry, there's the type of stuff that's going to work. So this is just a walkthrough of how this inbox management works. I'm going to link this wherever I post it, potentially on LinkedIn or on YouTube as well in the comments. Other than that, if you guys want any other agents, or you want like any other GPTs that I can potentially build out that's going to help you guys with appointment booking, just let me know as well. Cheers.